देखते रहते हैं कोई मैसेज आया व्हाट्सएप का।
अगला करो ये जब याद आएगा फिर ये वाली लगती है
उसको जैसे कि फोन ऑन किया ऊपर से व्हाट्सएप मैसेज आ रहे हैं तो उसको वो सामने आ जाते हैं एंड्रॉइड में, लेकिन इसमें फीचर्स में हम उसको नोटिफिकेशन ऑफ करते हैं तो वो इस तरह ऊपर से नहीं आते जैसे।
और फिर 10:30 की मीटिंग के लिए आए। It's 10:27 right now. We'll start at 10:30. Start होगा? चलो फिर। Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yep.
Is everybody logged in? Is everybody logged in?
Yes, ma'am.
आवाज आ रही है?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. All right. So we were talking about how the interatrial septum is formed. Now, I just want you to remember some keywords, okay? It's not very difficult, but the names can be confusing a little bit. This is basically what we were talking about. So this septum secundum is covered by the concave edge of this ostium secundum is covered by the concave edge of septum secundum, but it is not covered completely. There is a opening left, and that opening left due to incomplete closure by septum secundum is what we call the foramen ovale. This is the foramen ovale, which is formed by the incomplete covering of the septum secundum. And the valve of the foramen ovale comes from the remaining part of septum primum here. So the valve of the foramen ovale is derived from septum primum. The foramen ovale is the opening of the ostium secundum, which is not covered by septum secundum. All right. So gap in ostium secundum is foramen ovale, and the remnant of the septum primum is valve of foramen ovale. I forgot to write valve. So remnant of septum primum is valve of foramen ovale. All right. So we'll move up here. Now the right to left shunt has to keep going in intrauterine light, and that's how you make this shunt, because the septum secundum was coming down, but it did not completely close the ostium secundum. So this opening that remained is called foramen ovale, and it is going to be bordered by the valve of the foramen ovale, which is shown in this pink line. Now this is before birth. What happens after birth? You know that the baby cries and everybody is happy that, we've got a newborn who is healthy and he's got good healthy lungs and he's crying. That actually is a big important step in closure of the foramen ovale, because that brings about high pressure in the left atrium, and subsequently right atrium pressure is going to lessen, and this mechanism is going to bring about this valve of foramen ovale, and it will close the fossa. All right. Maybe you've heard, you've got somebody in your family, a niece or a cousin or somebody, वो कहते हैं जी बच्चा पैदा हुआ है लेकिन उसके दिल में सुराख है. Usually this is a very small gap in the foramen ovale, because somehow the valve could not cover it completely, and there's a slight slit-like opening, which is known as probe patent foramen ovale. It does not really affect the hemodynamics of the baby, and sometimes, you know, it can go undetected, but that's why it's called probe patent, because you have to pass a very fine, thin probe to diagnose it. So now I hope you understand what we've discussed so far. Now I want to discuss with you, I told you that we will discuss the relevant anomalies as we discuss the septal formation. Now this is the right atrium, okay? You know better than I do the gross anatomy, inferior vena cava, superior vena cava. This here is the wall that we will talk about, because वो fossa ovalis वो होता है जहाँ पर वो बंद हुआ हुआ foramen ovale है, as far as I remember. But this border is what is actually the valve of the foramen ovale. And this is the normal closure, okay? Septum primum comes up and it closes this fossa. What happens if you have probe patency? This is probe patency, okay? It can be due to incomplete fusion of the septum primum and septum secundum. What they've made here basically is the septum primum is the light pink color, and the septum secundum is the light pink color, and here you have a gap which should have been the foramen ovale. But the foramen ovale now after birth has to close, but this gap left here is what we call the probe patent foramen ovale, and probe patent foramen ovale is usually due to incomplete fusion of septum primum and septum secundum. So you have this communication here. ठीक है? फिर ये left to right shunt होगी after birth. These are some other anomalies that I wanted to talk to you about. These are called, they're all under the heading of ASD. Probe patent foramen ovale is also ASD. It's an atrial septal defect. Then you can, this is normal, जो हमने अभी बात की है कि ये foramen ovale है और ये उसका valve बन जाएगा. This is excessive resorption of septum primum. ये septum primum था ना, ये नीचे भी बंद हो गया था. इसकी resorption ज़्यादा हुई और उसका valve नहीं बन सका, तो ये भी एक आपके पास patent foramen ovale की किस्म हो गई. Then you have short septum primum. Short septum primum से मुराद क्या हुई कि उसके valve जो है वो बना लेकिन पूरा नहीं बना, short था. Excessive resorption की क्या मतलब है कि septum primum की resorption की वजह से valve पूरा नहीं बना. फिर absence of septum secundum, ये तो बन गया, लेकिन इसके साथ जो septum secundum ने आना था साथ इस स्ट्रक्चर को कंप्लीट करने के लिए, वो सेप्टम सिकंडम डिफेक्ट बन गया. ये सेप्टम प्राइमम डिफेक्ट्स हैं, ये सेप्टम सिकंडम डिफेक्ट्स हैं. अच्छा, इसको हम कहते हैं हाई लेवल या हाई पॉइंट ASD. इसको इस तरह आप समझ लें कि ये जो साइनस हॉर्न था ना, ये जिसको इनकॉर्पोरेट होना था, ये वाला वो नहीं हुआ और उधर वॉल में, राइट एट्रियम की वॉल में गैप्स रह गए. This is complete absence of interatrial septum, which is called core tricular biventricular. This is complete absence of interatrial septum. So now we're talking about septum primum defects. Septum primum defects, absence of septum secundum, एंड एट्रियल ASD जिसको कहते हैं एट्रियल सेप्टल डिफेक्ट्स, ये सब एट्रियल सेप्टल डिफेक्ट्स हैं। इसमें सिर्फ हम ये कह रहे हैं कि वो जो साइनस हॉर्न की इनकॉर्पोरेशन नहीं हुई तो यहाँ पे ऑरिफिसेस बन गई छोटी छोटी या एक बड़ी, एंड दिस इज कंप्लीट एब्सेंस व्हिच इज कोर ट्राइक्युलर biventricular. Okay, now this again is the same diagram that I wanted to show you just to cap a little bit. Septum primum, endocardial cushions, ostium primum. This is the first step. This is the region of cell death which will create the ostium secundum. क्योंकि यहाँ हमने पहले एक गैप बनाना है सेप्टम सेकंडम की नीचे आने से पहले यहाँ पे, ताकि ये क्लोजर जब पूरा हो जाए तो इधर से शंट जारी रहे. Now, before I do the left atrium, there's something I want to discuss with you here. Now, again, we have, these are all ASDs. This is a large foramen ovale. Okay, septum primum theek hai, lekin foramen ovale is large. So you have this communication left to right. Then B is large foramen ovale with small septum primum. ये भी एक foramen ovale का डिफेक्ट है. ये भी ASD है. एक हो सकता है कि आपकी large foramen ovale है, large foramen ovale with small septum primum, यानी कि valve भी नहीं पूरा और foramen भी बहुत बड़े. Then you have patent ostium primum. पेटेंट ऑस्टियम प्राइमम का मतलब ये है कि वो बंद नहीं हुआ. ये ऑस्टियम प्राइमम को बंद होना चाहिए था, ये नहीं हुआ. This is how it should have been, but it didn't close. So you have a patent ostium primum. So these are different types of atrial septal defects, and they, according to the extent of the defect, they can disturb the hemodynamics of the newborn baby, and sometimes the baby will need surgery within its neonatal days. ये देखिए, अब ये भी एक है ASD कि ये जो है सेप्टम प्राइमम बंद हो गया लेकिन उसके अंदर खिला और सेल डेथ रह गई. ये शॉर्ट सेप्टम प्राइमम जो हमने पहले किया था. So these are ASDs where you can talk about septum primum defect, septum secundum defect, size of foramen ovale being too big. You can talk about ASD because of incomplete incorporation of the right sinus horn into the wall of the right atrium, and you can talk about core tricular biventricular. This is another picture. I told you that this is the folding embryo. This is neural tube. Then this is the dorsal aorta which will form on either side of the heart tube. This is the gut tube. ये developing आपकी spinal cord और vertebral column है. ये dorsal aorta है. ये gut tube है. और ये heart tube. And suspending the heart tube and the pericardial cavity dorsally is dorsal mesocardium, which will break down, and then you will have the oblique transverse sinus over here. We'll get to the chromosomal anomalies afterwards. Okay, so how do we talk about the left atrium? Right atrium हमने बना लिया. उसमें हमने ट्रबैक्यूलेटेड वॉल्स थी जो कि एम्ब्रियोनिक ट्यूब से थी, ओरिजिनल हार्ट ट्यूब से, और स्मूथ वॉल्ड एरिया था जो इनकॉर्पोरेट हुआ बाय द blending of the right sinus horn into the wall of the right atrium. Now for the left atrium, what do we need? You've all done the gross anatomy. You know that the left atrium also has smooth walled part and trabeculated part. How is this formed? The pulmonary vein before we go into that, let me show you something else. Can you see this blue thing here? This is how it starts, the development of left atrium. This is known as DMP. This is a collection of cells lying in the dorsal mesocardium, which is known as dorsal mesenchymal protrusion. This DMP is going to enter again cranially into the developing left atrium, and within this mesenchyme, within this DMP is the developing pulmonary vein. This DMP is present in the dorsal mesocardium. The DMP has within it the developing pulmonary vein, and it enters the left atrium. And gradually, this pulmonary vein and DMP are going to be incorporated into the wall of the left atrium until the division of the pulmonary vein into 4, because you know you have 2 pulmonary veins going into each lung. So this is how you will end up, that pulmonary vein की resorption होती जाएगी, ये blue area बढ़ता जाएगा left atrium में, जब तक के ये 4 orifices ना वहां नजर आए. ठीक है? So this and the rest of the DMP will, you know, help in closure of the septum. The same picture I want to show you here. ये हम बात कर रहे हैं, ये primordial pulmonary vein कहाँ बन रही है? DMP, dorsal mesenchymal protrusion, वो कहाँ पे है पड़ा हुआ? वो group of cells है जो dorsal mesocardium में पड़ा. अब होगा क्या? ये absorb करता जाएगा primordial pulmonary vein tissue, ये left atrium की ये जो wall है. करते करते ये कहाँ तक absorb करेगा? ये वहां तक करता जाएगा जहां पे आपने 4 pulmonary veins जो हैं, जो लंग से आ रही हैं, उनकी यहाँ ओपनिंग्स आ जाएंगी. तो ये जो तमाम नीला हिस्सा है, ये कहाँ से आया है? हेलो, वालेकुम सलाम जी. बेटे मैं अभी लेक्चर ले रही हूँ. ओके. All right, so this entire blue area is the incorporation of that DMP, which had the primordial pulmonary vein tissue. And we kept absorbing it into the wall of the left atrium until the orifices of the 4 pulmonary veins. This is how we talk about the development. Now I'm going to read the text so maybe you can understand it a little better. The caudal end of the dorsal mesocardium has dorsal mesenchymal protrusion. When the septum primum descends for the interatrial septum, the DMP also descends with it towards endocardial cushions. Entering the developing left atrium, the DMP has primordia of developing pulmonary vein. Pulmonary vein and its branches are incorporated in the wall of the left atrium, and this will form the smooth-walled part of the left atrium. The pulmonary vein stem, which is incorporated into the wall of the left atrium. As the atrium grows, pulmonary vein is incorporated until division of 4 pulmonary veins, 2 from each lung. Again, I'll show you this picture. I think this is a better picture. This. Mesocardium में से DMP का टिश्यू है जो साथ नीचे आया, ये नीचे आया towards endocardial cushion. उसके साथ साथ what is happening? This DMP has within it the developing pulmonary vein, and it keeps absorbing this primordia of pulmonary vein. बढ़ता जाता है और ये बढ़ते बढ़ते वहां तक जाता है जहां तक एंट्रेंस आती है 2 पल्मोनरी वेन्स की ईच लंग से, और ये स्मूथ वॉल्ड पार्ट बन जाता है. और जो ट्यूबैक्यूलेटेड पार्ट है ना, उस वो लेफ्ट ऑरिकल बना देगा. Now I hope you've understood the development of the right atrium and the left atrium. And now I want to discuss a few things which I thought were important. Now, clinically, as we get to each septum, I will try to do the relevant septal defect so that you understand the formation, and then we do the clinical. Now, you all know that clinical anomalies can be chromosomal, or they can be teratogens, viruses, drugs, um, radiation, X-ray. Chromosomal anomalies, the main point, there's a whole cascade of events that takes place with genes and transcription factors. But the most important is the NKX 2.5, which is the heart specifying gene. Then there is a syndrome which is known as Holt-Oram syndrome. The Holt-Oram syndrome is actually due to a disturbance in the TBX5, which affects the heart, the septal development of the heart, and the upper limb. So you say that this is ASD with preaxial radial limb anomalies. You know that post-axial, preaxial, these are the rotations you talk about when you talk about development of the limbs. ASD with preaxial radial limb anomalies. It is also called heart-hand syndrome because the heart is involved and the upper limb is involved. Then you have hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. This can be due to a disturbance in the beta myosin heavy chain genes, and it can bring about hypertrophic cardiac myopathy. I'm not doing all the anomalies. I keep telling you this. I'm only going to do those anomalies which are relevant to the septum that we discuss. Now, teratogens, we talked about SSRI in the earlier lecture, which was selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors. They are used in psychiatric medication. Then you have retinoic acid, you have rubella virus, you have thalidomide poisoning. All of these will affect the development of the heart and the septal formation. Now, I'm sure all the young girls who are listening, retinoic acid is very common these days, that if you want to have good skin, you need to use these ointments and creams, retinoin and retinoic acid. Some girls even take oral vitamin A, which is fine. But you need to advise your cousins and sisters and friends who are having babies that they should not use any topical or oral vitamin A before planning a pregnancy. ये नहीं कि जी पता चला तो छोड़ दिया. आपने उनको कहना है कि if you're planning to get pregnant, you have to stop taking this ointment or cream or this tablet. Now, thalidomide was used, I think, as an anti-emetic in the 50s. If I'm not wrong, it's an anti-emetic. And in America, they documented a lot of anomalies due to this drug, after which it was discontinued. Now, there is another anomaly, which is L-levo-TGA. LTGA, एक तो TGA था, transposition of great arteries. एक है लीवो टीजीए. उसमें होता ये है कि राइट वेंट्रिकल जो है वो लेफ्ट पे होती है, उसमें से एओर्टा निकलती है, और लेफ्ट वेंट्रिकल राइट पे होती है, वो पल्मोनरी आर्टरी वहां से होती है. Then what did I say? Core tricular biventricular is absence of the atrial septum. Absence of atrial septum, and I showed you the picture as well. Let's go back to it. This is core tricular biventricular. Okay, so now We all talked about patent foramen ovale and probe patent foramen ovale and incomplete valve formation of the valve of foramen ovale, too big foramen ovale. The other anomaly is you can have premature closure of foramen ovale. And it's saying that we're running out of time. But if any one of you is hearing me, can you tell me if you're hearing me well? आवाज आ रही है?
Yes, ma'am.
अच्छा, अब ये है बेटा कि ये वाला लेक्चर होपफुली रिकॉर्ड हो गया. वो जो सैटरडे वाला लेक्चर था वो तो पता नहीं उसकी रिकॉर्डिंग में कुछ मसला था, वो यूट्यूब पे मैंने नहीं डाला. ये वाला जो लेक्चर है ये I'll put this on YouTube so that you can if you're interested or those who have not been able to join can listen to the lecture there. And I will let you know about the next class beforehand. And where's your GR? Is she listening? Is she around? आज GR गायब है. उसको फोन भी मैं कर रही हूँ and she's not calling or answering. Anyway, this brings an end to today's lecture. And in the subsequent lectures, we will talk about different septa and their clinical implications. And also, I think that I've left some anomalies today because to better understand them, we need to discuss how the interventricular and the atrioventricular divisions will take place. So we will discuss those anomalies in detail when we get to that part of the development. So I'm going to sign off now. Okay. Khuda Hafiz.